every universe.
Hello, Peter. You're not Peter Parker.
Look, there has to be another way.
There isn't. Peter.
You're struggling to have everything you want while the world tries to make you choose.
What's happening?
They're starting to come through, and I can't stop them.
December 17th, exclusively in movie theaters.
Hey out there in YouTube land and subsequent social media lands, welcome to an all-new video. We're going to do a review today of a movie that came out a couple weeks ago now, has crossed the $1 billion mark in post-COVID pandemic times, which is really interesting and great to hear that, you know, the box office is getting back to that. And this film is just a really fantastic film that I'm going to love talking about, so we're going to get right into that. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on this video or any of the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content and love my YouTube channel, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, which I pretty much post on a pretty weekly or daily basis, so definitely check that out. Like I always say, let's get right into this! Welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're going to be talking about a new movie that just came out a couple weeks ago in theaters, and is a $1 billion film. Like I said, just crossed the $1 billion mark on December 25th, and that happens to be the awesome and amazing third film, an amazing trilogy called Spider-Man No Way Home! Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home! Yeah! So Spider-Man No Way Home, of course, is the third film in the awesome Marvel Sony togetherness universe that they have combined together to bring to Marvel the awesome, you know, a character, Mr. Spider-Man. And No Way Home is one of those films that, you know, there was a lot of expectations. A lot of people were wondering if it was going to be, you know, up to the hype that they were looking for. And this film delivered that, which was really fantastic. I'm very happy that it lived up to hype, and I think this is my favorite of the trilogy. So, to start us off, of course, is the director himself that brought this movie to life, who has been an amazing director through all three films, and that, of course, is Mr. Jon Watts! Oh yeah, Jon Watts! Woo, Jon Watts! Absolutely love Jon Watts. I think he's a fantastic director. I really haven't seen anything else he's directed except for these Spider-Man movies, but I think he has done a great job and has really brought to life this Marvel character and given us a really great trilogy of films. Now, of course, you know, he directed, of course, Spider-Man Far From Home, but my favorite that he's directed, of course, is the great film Spider-Man Homecoming! Yeah! Spider-Man Homecoming! Yeah! So this is, I think, is the best directed besides the one I'm currently talking about. And I absolutely loved what he brought to life with Homecoming. I love that they didn't do the whole origin story. They already had him being Spider-Man. That, you know, and he just brought that really to life and gave us a great intro to MCU Spider-Man. You know, versus, you know, we got a brief glimpse into him, of course, in Civil War. But this time around, we got a better picture. Ned finds out, you know, and, you know, he basically really becomes Spider-Man in this film. And I think it's really fantastic. And I just think all around that, you know, Jon did a great job of bringing that to life, giving us a really well-rounded story and just a really great film. If you haven't seen Homecoming, definitely give it a whirl, people. It's worth a watch, especially if you like No Way Home. But when it came to directing, you know, No Way Home, I absolutely loved what he did with this film. I love how crisp and clear he kept it. I love how the story just moved along perfectly. And I also enjoyed that he brought so many great other Sony-verse characters into this film and gave us this just really great, like, spider-verse type of deal. And I just think it was a great and awesome just job. I thought he did a really fantastic job. I thought he did great with, you know, the cinematography, the sound, the music, everything about the film. He just really orchestrated it very well, and I thought he did an overall great job. If you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home yet, definitely check it out for Jon Watts directing. He did a really fantastic job. So this movie, of course, has a really phenomenal cast. especially a lot of great people returning from previous Spider-Man films in this film. So if you haven't seen this already, sorry, spoilers ahead, people, you're going to find out. So of course we have returning in this film, of course, William Dafoe. We have Alfred Molina returning. We have Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, all these great actors returning. We got, the awesome, brief listening cameo of Mysterio from Far From Home. We have Sandman return, Thomas Hayden Church, and all these great characters that were just so much fun. And this film just has a phenomenal cast that was so great to have them all back, returning to their characters, and just gave a really well-rounded performance. Now, of course, to start us off is Spider-Man himself, Mr. Tom Holland! Oh yeah, Tom Holland! Woo! Absolutely love Tom Holland. I think he's the epitome of Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire was fantastic, but Tom Holland really, I feel, is the best and closest to real age of Spider-Man, and I just think he did a fantastic job, and I have always enjoyed him as the character. And with, this film, I thought he even exacerbated a lot of his characteristics of his other characters, in the other films, that he really brought, twofold, and really progressed and really, aged and really kind of matured in this, role, and really matured his character in the film, and I really enjoyed that. Now, another great film that Mr. Tom, Holland has been in that I actually pretty much enjoyed. I thought it was a really fantastic film. I know it got a lot of slack. I know a lot of people didn't care for it, but I thought it was actually a pretty fun film. And that, of course, is a film called Chaos Walking. Yeah, Chaos Walking. I thought this was a really fantastic film. I liked the whole concept of the film. I loved the alien atmosphere of the film. I liked that, Tom was so different than, of course, his Spider-Man character and his other characters that he's been. And I enjoyed him being in a different type of film and seeing him perform in a different way. And I just really enjoyed it. I also just enjoyed how he brought to life this character. And I thought he worked really well with Daisy Ridley. And I just thought that it was all around a great sci-fi film that had a great, ensemble cast, and also just a great kind of thought and, writing process, especially based off the book that it's based off. It was just a really fun film. If you haven't seen Tom in that, definitely check him out. He was really fantastic. But like I said before, I think this is his best performance of Spider-Man to date. He was so awesome. I love that he's matured the character. I love how the character matured by the end of the film, and I just thought that Tom did a really fantastic job interacting with everyone, and even interacting with the previous villains that we encounter in this film. He just all around did a great job. If you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, check out Tom. He's amazing in it. Next on the roster of great actors in this film is none other than Doctor Strange himself, Mr. Benedict Cumberbatch! Oh yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch! Woo, Benedict! So Benedict, of course, he's done all types of different films, drama, he's done action, he's done comedy, he's done Marvel, he's done superheroes, he's done everything. And he just is an all-around great, character actor, I feel. I absolutely love him as Sherlock. I think he's fantastic as Sherlock, and just all around, he's just a really great actor, and he always brings to life all his characters he plays. Now, of course, my favorite movie of his of all time, of course, is his debut in the MCU, of course, is the 2016 film, Doctor Strange! Yeah, Doctor Strange. Absolutely love him in this film. He is Doctor Strange. I don't see anybody else playing this character. He is Doctor Strange to the T. He's so amazing, the character, and in that first Doctor Strange, he really brought to life Stephen Strange, and seeing what a person would go through that type of mentality. He just did such a great job of bringing that to life, and I loved his interactions with everyone in that film, and just the whole film was so well constructed by Scott Dickerson, and just a really fantastic film, and Benedict really brought to life Doctor Strange and gave us this really good MCU debut and iteration for what we're going to see in the MCU so far. He was so fantastic. If you haven't seen him in Doctor Strange, definitely check him out. He's really fantastic. But it comes to his performance in No Way Home. I really enjoyed it. I liked the concept of it. I liked how he was, still the Doctor Strange we know, even though he's trying to be a little helpful after the events of Endgame, but still he sees the power and he sees what's going on, and he's trying to help stop it and to contain it and do all this kind of cool stuff. And his interaction with Tom Holland, Spider-Man in this film was just so well done and so fun, and just was really amazing and really put together properly. And their relationship, you can see it has grown since Endgame. We can see that it's grown since Infinity War. We can see that, they have kind of a, similar to each other, and that, they see each other's faults and stuff like that, and just how they've grown too as well since their previous outings. And I just think it's a really well-rounded performance by Benedict. Really enjoyed him. If you haven't seen No Way Home, definitely check out Benedict in it. He is really amazing in it. Now that brings me to the next character I like to talk about, and that of course is a returning superhero from another Sony Spider-Man franchise, and that of course is Mr. Tobey Maguire! Oh yeah, Tobey Maguire! Woo! Tobey Maguire! Of course, you probably recognize Tobey from a slew of other things, The Great Gatsby. You might recognize him from, of course, Seabiscuit. Over the years, Four Brothers, or not Four Brothers, but Brothers in Arms, I believe, or Brothers, or maybe it's just Brothers, I can't remember exactly, but it's a really interesting film. But he is such a fantastic actor. I've always enjoyed him. I thought he was so fantastic as Spider-Man, and to see that he got to return in this and play the same character again was so much fun. And, Tobey is just, he really did bring to life the comic book version of Peter Parker, and I thought that he did such a great job. So seeing Tom Holland take over that mantle and do that in his, it looked exactly very identical, but in its own MCU way, and I just thought they did such a great job, and that Tobey was such a great choice to play Peter Parker first, and it was so great to see him again now that he's, gotten older, and now he's a more mature Peter Parker. He was so fantastic in the film, so great. But another great film that he was in that I really enjoyed him in, actually, it was a great comedy film that came out in the late 90s called Pleasantville. Yeah, Pleasantville. That movie was really great, and I loved Tobey in it. I thought he was really fantastic. I liked the era that it played into. I loved that, it had this very sophistication to it, and that, it was very, just interesting and a fun concept, and Tobey's character was so much fun in the film. And I love that he got to interact between, the president at the time, and then, of course, he got to interact in the 50s and 60s eras. And he really brought that character to life, and brought that, that time period to life, too, along with this acting. I thought he did such a great job. If you haven't seen him in Pleasantville, definitely check him out. He's really fantastic. But overall, he was so awesome in No Way Home. It was so great to see him again as Peter Parker, his version, and the interactions he had between him and Garfield and Holland were so on point, perfection, and so much fun, and just a really well-rounded performance. You can't get any better than that. If you haven't seen Tobey Maguire in No Way Home yet, definitely go check him out. He was so awesome. So that brings me to the final actor I'll be talking about, an actor that was in this film. And that, of course, is none other than the amazing Spider-Man himself, Mr. Andrew Garfield. Oh yeah, Andrew Garfield. Woo, Andrew Garfield. This guy, man, he has been in so many crazy films over the years, so many dramas, so many based on true stories. This guy is an amazing actor. And his Spider-Man films, I actually just recently rewatched them. They are freaking awesome. I can't believe they never made a third one for him. He was so good. But, the awesome Andrew, he is so good. He is so fun. From the Silver Lake to, films that he's been in like that, and 99 Homes and stuff like that. He's just a really awesome actor, and he can prove that he can do all types of styles of film. Now, one of my favorite films of his actually is a based on true story directed by Mel Gibson called Hacksaw Ridge. Oh yeah, this movie was fantastic, and Andrew did a major job portraying this guy from Hacksaw Ridge, this medic that would not use firearms. He had a religious viewing that he would not use firearms, but he still wanted to help the army. And I thought that was really fantastic, and Andrew brought this character to life and gave us this great, inspiration of who this guy was, and he was just a really amazing person. And Andrew just brought that to life and gave us this really fantastic performance. Really enjoyable. If you haven't seen Hacksaw Ridge, definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch. When it comes to him playing again, his Peter Parker, it was so much fun. He was just as funny. He was just as fun as Tobey Maguire, and he was freaking hilarious at some points, too, as well. And his interactions with everyone was so good, too. Especially the introduction scene when he's first getting introduced and he's talking to, MJ and Ned, and they're like, prove that you're Spider-Man and stuff like that, and he's like, really? He's like, really? He's like wearing the cow outfit and everything, and I'm like, oh my god, this is pure Andrew Garfieldness, and he was so awesome at it. If you haven't seen No Way Home yet, definitely check it out for Andrew. He was so great, so much fun, and really fantastic in it. So what is No Way Home about? So this time around, of course, this film starts off right where the last one left off, where, unfortunately, Peter Parker's name has been revealed that he is Spider-Man. So, with all the craziness going on, he decides maybe he can get help from Doctor Strange, and he goes to Doctor Strange and asks for help, where basically he could do a forget-me spell, which basically will erase everyone from knowing who he is. And so, as he's doing it, he keeps saying, oh, I need this person and this person and this person to remember me, out of it, and that messes up the spell and causes the multiverse to open up. And then the rest of the film is about them fixing the mess and getting the people back from the multiverse back to their verses. It's a fantastic film. Oh my god, we get so many great villains coming back. Like I said, we got William Dafoe as Green Goblin, Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, we got, the awesome Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman. We had, the amazing, characters that were just so much fun and awesome. I don't know why I'm having a hard time remembering Jamie Foxx, but Jamie Foxx returns as his character and gets kind of a redemption for his character as Electro, and we just get a really awesome, amazing, rendition of the Spider-Verse that was so much fun and so awesome and such worth the watch. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out now. Giant 10 Golden Movie boxes. I definitely can't wait to add this to my collection. It's so awesome fun and just a really well-rounded new MCU film. And it's great to see that the box office is finally getting back to its normal and getting a $1 billion film this year. Really awesome. If you haven't seen it, go check it out now in theaters. Check it out. So that's it for this review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. If this is your first time here or you have been here before, don't forget to check out my older, newer videos you might not have seen mine yet. And also, people, if you enjoy my content and want to show support for the channel, definitely check out my Patreon page where I can do outtakes, bloopers, and all kinds of cool stuff like that, where you can get that exclusively by being a patron. So definitely check that out. And as always, people, if you enjoyed horror movies, definitely check out the Horror Pack, which is a great subscription service that brings horror films right to your door. So definitely check that out, too. As always, catch you in the next one.